rotate out of here. So he already has his rotation plan out, like where he knows he's going to go. Especially in the early game. Especially in this early game. So he knows immediately going into Boney he's going to get killed here. I think he ends up getting here, but it's fine. Just having a good mid-map drop like that is so important because he has so many spots that he can rotate out of depending on what he's going to go to. Okay, if you're going to box somebody up like this, like let's just say that that kid was in this box down here. Like theoretically, he could have so easily just gotten, I mean, he would have lost that 50-50 dude at attack unless he had a one pump because he's just jumping into the box. Like if you're going to piece play somebody, do it from a whole box away. It's just not even worth it. He should have stayed up. So when you're dropping down to piece placing somebody like that, don't ever drop down. Just a note. Just don't do that. Okay, and something that you'll also see from him consistently throughout this tournament is anytime he goes for walls, he's usually doing it from a layer above because it's the safest. Like, you'll see it. I'm pretty sure he does it here. Yeah, he does it. Okay, here's another thing. ADS pumps, like aiming down sights with your pump, especially at long distances, is so useful. The pump is such a good long-range gun if you just get good with your ADS aim. It's absurd. Like, going back here, I mean, he literally tagged this kid for, like, 80 just with a long range, and he only has a green pump. Like, that's such a useful shot. That was also a horrible peek going here. Dude was obviously looking for a peek because he's low and probably shambles on mats. So don't ever take 50-50 peeks, even if you're at a massive advantage. Unless you literally have the kid at 1 health and you have a spaz, it's just not worth it. Okay, so after clearing this mid-game map, he immediately is... So he's center zone here. This is him right here. He's center zone. He knows that he's cleared out basically everybody in this area. Like, there's not going to be many people rotating around here. These kids are just going to go dead side and keep getting mats and stuff. So he knows that he needs to go towards this open side here, this congested side of zone, where he can actually find people. And since this is a low elo lobby, this is not, which elo just means skill level, this isn't a dumb fight to take, especially at a good box fight level that he is, like skill wise. This is not a dumb fight to take going for these congested side fights because he's just that good. He's gonna come up to this box here. Give him a sec. Okay. Right here, this wall replacement technique, this where he is on a right-hand peak and he's a layer above it, there is absolutely no way he gets shot here. Like, he obviously it's possible, but it is so unbelievably unlikely, and he's going to have his reticle already on the dude's head just because he's above him. So if this kid peeks this, he gets a free one pump essentially. I mean, not a one pump, but you get the point. So we'll see here. He does end up with this wall, I'm sure, yeah. So that wide edit right there makes it so that it's going to be extremely hard for this dude to pickaxe that wall and get it back, because he's going to have to take a really bad like pickaxe, and it's going to leave him in a very poor situation to where he's probably going to get one pump. Okay, then another thing that you'll notice as he's coming into this rotate here, there are a lot of kids around him, and this is the point in the game where you do want to start focusing on just literally winning the game. Although he still is aggressive because he does know that this is a very low elo lobby and that he can still keep people. He's probably the best player in the lobby. He's still not taking these fights because he knows he needs to get into zone. If he takes one of these storm fights, this is going to start taking for 2. You could easily get held here by some kid that's already in zone if he's fighting somebody outside of zone and he dies. So he's white lining right now, which just means he's running straight to zone. Again, that ADS pump is so good. It makes your reticle smaller, so much more compressed bullets. Just so easy to get those with it and find it. So he knows that a lot of people are going to have already rotated on this fight, and he also saw that kid get cracked. So he is going to push this, which is kind of a risky fight, but he's a good enough player to where he can win it. He blocks off that launch pad there, so none of them can get out of here. There. So right now he's trying to hold these kids because they all think that he rotated. He ran down from that building. I'm sure that not this Veneno kid, I don't know that he was looking at him, but that kid that was in that building below him definitely thought that he's rotated. So now he's going to stay back and try to hold one of them. Right here he is. Not just a free kill, didn't take any damage. That's just being aware, guys. That's just keeping tabs on where people are and what he can do and what he can't. So it's fine. But again, he did have a way to get out of that fight with the pads, so you might not want to take that fight if you don't have rotations out. know it lags here, but you're going to see once he gets his kill on his gun, he immediately pads. Because he knows there's no way he can one-target. One, he has no mats. But theoretically, even if he did have like 500 mats here, it would be such a stupid move to tarp into zone here. Or not tarp, but tunnel into zone here. Mostly because, one, you would just fry all your mats. You'd be dead straight after that unless you got a low ground refresh, which is so risky. He's not afraid to use his launch pads on these moving rotates. And as soon as he gets into zone, you'll see what he does. So he literally just lands edge zone. He gets right in, and he immediately starts looking for refreshes from the back. This is where rotating early in moving zones and solos is so key to popping off endgame. A lot of these dudes endgame don't even get kills off of box fights. Like, it just doesn't happen because it's too risky. They mostly get kills off of just spraying kids, just being genuine and third partying. And here's just gonna win is where Height's at. Constantly keeping pressure on Height just to try to make it obnoxious for them because Height is obviously the person with the most advantage in solos right now. So again, just keeping tabs on these kids. They need to rotate in and spraying them because he has 500 bullets. Okay, so he grabs these peps here, and he immediately makes a play going into zone here. Again, he doesn't take any shots until he gets in his zone once he starts rotating. You'll notice with a lot of great solo players, what they do is if they make a decision, there is no hesitation. It is immediately you go do whatever you're doing. When he's rotating, he's not looking for picks. When he's looking for picks, he's looking for picks and he's not trying to rotate. It just doesn't happen. So. So like right now, he's looking for picks. He's not trying to tarp or anything like that. Or not tarp, tunnel. You get the point. Don't ever take that peek. Don't ever take a left. That is the worst possible peek you could ever take in Fortnite. Is a left window peek. Don't ever do that. If this Benji kid was any good player, he's getting one pumped immediately. And he switches out his chug cannon here for more charges. Now he's just on low ground. He knows these kids are probably going to frag out. He gets some peppers from that kill. And then from here, he just lets it. Just a good game all around from Flyy, just to be honest. That was just a good game. He knew he was in a low elo lobby. He knew he could frag out. That's kind of the key thing in that game. Also, rotating early and spraying back is extremely important.